So now in continuation with the omics topic, the second topic is genomics. Here we will cover about genomics. Let's start. Now omics is the field of study in biology ending in the suffix omics, such as genomics, metabolomics, or proteomics. So omics is a suffix used in front behind words such as gene, metabolic, metabolism, or protein. Now, Hans Winkler in 1920 coined the term genome, derivation of modern uses of the term omics, although the use of ohm is older, signifying the collectivity of a set of things. So here you can see that a collection of the entire genome uh, or genes is known as genomics, which was given by Hans Winkler. Now, Sanger in 1970s first completed the sequencing of genome. Genome is the most fundamental part of many omic studies. And the word genomics is said to be appeared in the 1980s, widely used in the 1990s. So although it was coined in the year 1920, it became widely used only in the 1990s. Now, how is the genomics defined? So, genome is actually the genetic material of an organism. The genome includes both the genes and the non-coding DNA, as well as the mitochondrial DNA and chloroplast DNA. So, whatever DNA is present in a cell, whether it is in the nucleus, in the mitochondria, or chloroplast, the complete gene expressed is known as genome, and the study of genome is called genomics. So this is the complete genome of an individual eukaryotic cell of human being. There are 46 chromosomes, and all various genes are located in each chromosomes. So study of all these genes is known as genomics. Now, the cells in a human body are around 100 trillion. The chromosomes in a human cell are around 46, and the genes in a human genome are around 20,500. So the number of cells is far greater, then fewer are the chromosomes, and the genes are 20,500 in number. Now, the human genome um, is in all human beings is 99.9% same. So you and I vary by just 0.1% of the gene of our genes. Now the percentage of genome that contains genes is just 2%. So 98% of the genes or the 98% of the DNA is junk DNA, and it doesn't code for any genes. And the percentage of human proteins that share similarities with other organisms is 50%. So we are 50% similar to other organisms or other species. So this is what we have come to know through the human genome study. Now, the genomic studies uses a combination of various techniques, which include the recombinant DNA technology. It includes DNA sequencing methods. It includes bioinformatics, where a knowledge of statistics and computers is required to sequence, assemble, and analyze the structure and function of genome. So as you know that gene expression goes in this direction, where DNA to RNA to protein inside a cell, and the protein catalyzes various reactions inside a cell, and this leads to generation of various metabolites, which forms a complete metabolome, and the proteins of the cell expressed in a cell in a particular condition form the proteome, whereas the RNA mRNA expressed in a cell form the transcriptome, and the genes expressed are is the genome. And these can be studied by these various techniques. For example, genomics can be studied by PCR, DNA microarray, and parallel sequencing. Transcriptomics can be studied by microassay, RNA sequencing, RNA splicing, and methods based on PCR, whereas proteomics can be done by two-dimensional electrophoresis, HPLC, and identification can be done by mass spectrometry, which we have already covered in one of my lectures. The link shall be provided, and protein microarrays. Metabolic bolomics studies can be done by NMR spectroscopy. So this is how the complete study can be done. So the significance of carrying out the genomic study of any organism or human beings is for a better understanding of human disease, for personalized medicine and pharmacogenetics, because we know that for the same symptom and the same drug, each person may respond differently. So if we have a complete understanding of the human genome, then medicine can be personalized or optimized. Then we get greater insight into the cognitive function of human beings. We have greater insight into human evolution and origin, and we can identify genetic susceptibility to various diseases. Now, the clinical applications of genomics can start right from the preconception stage and the prenatal with the preconception and prenatal testing, after birth with newborn screening, then disease susceptibility screening and diagnosis, prognosis and therapeutic decisions can be made with the help of genomics studies, and monitoring disease burden and recurrences can be done. Now, uh, like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Click the bell icon, and thank you for watching.